Man, this is lifestyles of the poor and unfucking fortunate. But I tell you what, but bitch, we got views.
We'll backtrack a little bit. So music, right?
Yeah.
When you were growing up, when did you start to really listen to? Was it country and rap when you was growing up, or did you just start listening to one and then found the other?
Well, you got to remember, I just turned 53 August 27th, so just a couple weeks ago.
Right.
So rap wasn't even.
It wasn't a thing.
It wasn't even a thing.
Yeah.
Like. It just wasn't. I mean, so I always tell people, I'm like, musically, you're a product of your environment. You know what I mean?
Right.
So my dad's from Hartwell, Georgia. Which is a little old town about the size of this room we're in. He didn't have indoor plumbing until he was 18 years old. He never had nothing. So country it wasn't what they were. It wasn't what they did. It's what they were. You know what I mean?
Right.
He didn't know no different. It's just, you're happy to have biscuits and beans. That's what it was. And my mom's from Anderson, South Carolina, in a mill town. So she went to school with the guy that played radio in that movie Radio.
Oh, wow.
So they didn't come from nothing. And my dad worked, he worked in the car business and became selling cars, and then he got his own used car lot, and he had that for 40 years, and it ended up, he had probably sold more cars than anybody around Athens, Georgia, but he was just a little used car dealer. And, it was a great place to grow up, great town. I was lucky. I still have great parents, and I was really blessed with that for sure.
Yeah.
We didn't have a lot, but my dad made sure we had everything we needed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So obviously, we'll do this right here. What was your first introduction to rap music? As far as when you were younger and then it was becoming a thing. Like,
problem with that is, for me, that's a long way to remember back, Chad.
Right.
But honestly, I can remember hearing like Sugar Hill Gang for the first time, Rapper's Delight, and going, "Oh, what was that?"
Yeah, for sure. They're not singing.
And for me, before I even knew what rap or anything was, as a musician, I can play a few different instruments, but I'm a drummer at heart. Always have been. That's what I play. I learned to play the drums. I could play it. I played just off of ear. I could hear the song and I could play it.
Yeah.
And so my mom, we would ride around when I was young, and I was constantly beating on the dash of the car. This was back when you didn't have car seats and seat belts and all the shit we got today. And I would be beating. She'd say a word, and I had to say a word that rhymed with it.
Yeah.
I didn't know what we were doing. She didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
We were just talking, and that's kind of how it started for me. And then again, I heard those songs, and I was just such a different kid because rap was not a thing. We're the South. We're in Georgia. We're way behind as far. Rap was coming from. That was coming up top, New York thing, and so the Bronx and all that stuff, and Hollis, Queens, Run DMC. I'd never seen any of that stuff.
For sure.
But I just started doing it, so I was weird to say. It's like, here's this white kid who looks kind of like, at the time, like this normal Southern preppy white kid.
Yeah.
Who can out-rap anybody around here, and also is one of the top junior golfers in the world.
Yeah.
I was strange.
And you're from a super Southern.
Yeah, like I was.
Part of the US, yeah.
It was very frowned upon.
Yeah,
honestly,
for sure.
like it
Especially
was
that
very
time.
frowned upon in my era. I was called a lot of things, and the racism existed sometimes more towards me than the other way.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I guess I was just weird. I don't know. I like being weird, I guess. I just always marched to the beat of my own drum. I was talked about and a lot of things said and whatever, and I just kept doing my thing. My mom always told me I was hard-headed, so I guess I just kept doing my thing, and I was making records. I made a record in 1983, rap record, yeah.
A rap record?
A rap record in 1983. And this was pre-Beastie Boys. I've never seen a white kid rap, ever, before I did this record. Like, even the studio in town was like, we don't have any idea. Mark Maxwell, who's recorded REM and all kinds of these babies, like, okay, we'll try. I made this record, and my dad is the ultimate salesman. My dad's he's been in a used car. He's the sweetest guy in the whole world, but he could sell water to a well. That's just who he is. And he cold called and got Russell Simmons on the phone and talked to him.
Oh, wow.
About me.
Yeah.
And Russell Simmons was going, "You're a used car dealer in Athens, Georgia, and you have a white 13-year-old son that raps.
Wow.
Stop. Are you for real right now?" Like, it was
Yeah.
crazy. Like, he thought it was crazy.
Yeah.
I meant, but
And you're 13, dog.
I'm 13.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
but that, how wonderful my parents were, because they were raised super poor, rural country, like rap. They never made me feel any kind of way about black, white. They just let me do my thing.
That's super important. It's
Oh
probably
my
one of the
God,
reasons
man!
you
I mean,
go
it
to
was
do.
unbelievable to grow up like that. I never,
Yeah.
I never had. I mean, Rock Springs, Broad Acres are projects around my high school. I
Yeah.
could walk in any of them projects. I had full time. I had full
Yeah.
access.
Yeah.
Always good.
Yeah.
Triple OG. Never. And then I went to the little old Athens Country Club and played
Yeah.
golf too. Like, I was just weird. I was
Yeah.
able to get on both sides of the fence. I just didn't know any better.
Just you just being yourself.
I
too.
just was trying to be
Yeah.
myself, and I never acted any different. And I hope that I've never acted any different here as I sit
Yeah.
here with you all these years later.
Yeah.
Good people are good people to me. Like, all this shit that's going on in the world today is silly to me. I mean, like, good human beings are good human beings. Just be that. Everybody has shit they have to deal with.
Yeah.
Let's just, find common ground with our fellow human beings. That's all we got to do.